In the studio today, we have Arianne Kassman join us from 350. Thanks so much for joining me for Afternoon Tea.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
So I work as a 350 PNG coordinator here on a voluntary basis, which is part of a more global network, a bigger network, which is 350 Pacific. And we are a grassroots network of young people spread across 15 Pacific Island nations, trying to address climate change, trying to fight climate change for our islands in the Pacific.
And how long has it been set up?
So for 350 PNG, we've been set up since 2013, okay. But for 350 Pacific, it's been in existence since 2011.
So what does climate change look like in the Pacific at the moment?
Well, in the Pacific, we are on the front lines of climate change. When it comes to impacts, we live the realities of climate change every day. So we see sea level rise is a huge issue in the Pacific. And then when things like cyclones come, natural disasters come, it is the people of the Pacific that are affected the most by these changes. And that's why it's so important as Pacific Islanders that we stand up for our people and we stand up to the things or the people, the organizations that are causing this catastrophic event for us.
So what are some of the programs or advocacy work that 350 does?
So 350 Pacific runs a lot of leadership trainings, a lot of trainings around trying to get young people to be more aware of what climate change looks like in our own countries in the Pacific and what we can do to fight climate change. So a lot of our work is around making sure or trying to encourage people to make that transition from our reliance on the fossil fuel industry and moving towards renewable energy as an alternative and better source for us moving forward.
And speaking of fossil fuels, you're one of those advocates who's gone and risked her life, right, to talk about this issue. And
yes,
can you tell us a bit about that experience?
Yes, sure. So in 2014, 30 Pacific Climate Warriors took 5 traditional canoes to Newcastle coal port, which is one of the largest coal exporting ports in the world. And we blocked off Newcastle port for a day to show Australia, being the big brother to the Pacific, that this is what's causing climate change for our islands. And because they allow the coal industry to continue, they're expanding destruction onto the Pacific Islands. And so it's important that them as the big brother need to take note that this is what they're doing. This is bad for us as Pacific Islanders, and it would be better for all of us if they stopped doing what they were doing. And so it was to demonstrate also that, we are going to stand up for our people. We're not going to just sit back and be the victims of climate change. We want to stand up for our people. We want to do whatever we can to preserve our culture, preserve our homes, and make sure that our future generations have a place to call home.
That would have been such a statement, I suppose.
Yes.
Were you dressed in traditional gear as well?
Yes, so all of us were dressed in our traditional attire because, in the Pacific, everyone still holds on to their culture and their traditions, and it's something that makes us people of the Pacific. And so it's something that we wanted to bring also to Newcastle. And we also wanted to bring our faith as well. So the day on the beach was more about making sure that we were showing them what's at stake for us, what we are going to lose if climate change is allowed to happen at the rate it's happening right now.
So what kind of supports have governments of the Pacific offered to 350 or towards climate change?
So for 350 Pacific, a lot of our support comes from raising our own funds. So this is so that we have control over our activities that we are doing. We do know that governments in the Pacific, a few governments in the Pacific have made strong stands against climate change. At the recent Pacific Island Forum meeting that was held here, there was a huge push to fight climate change from the Pacific Islands. And as a country, we have made that commitment that we will transition to renewable energy by 2030. So it's something that we all need to help each other do.
Great. And how can people get involved or support 350?
So 350 PNG, we have a Facebook page, and that's where we post a lot of our updates. So if you do want to get involved in the work that we're doing, just send us a message on Facebook, and we will get in touch with you and see how you can help us make sure that we keep our homes and we keep our traditions and our cultures.
Great. Well, do you have any final remarks?
I think the importance of young people being involved in this, you know, young people are the future.
Yeah.
It is our future that we are trying to secure, and
That's
it
right.
takes us stepping up to that, taking responsibility and saying we will do what we can to ensure that we preserve our homes. This is something we don't want to end up, you know, with only a passport to call home.
Yes,
we want to live on our own land, and land is something that, you know, so precious to us, and we need to do all that we can to make sure that we keep that for our people.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining me in the studio today to talk about this
important
important cause. Thanks.